I'm excited to ask this question from you, Jim. This is from YouTube, and it's about working with spirits. Can you talk a little bit more about working with spirits?
Yeah. So the first part of the answer is you are spirit. You are spirit. And so, but here you are as a spirit in a body having a physical experience. And so, one of the interesting points of today, this time that we're in, is we're in a very significant transition. It is a spiritual transition. The world is about to wake up. And I say that kindly. And what they're going to wake up to is I'm a spiritual being in a physical body having a human experience. Now, that goes all the way back to the 17th century when Descartes said that. You're not a, a human being having a spiritual experience, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And so, what is happening is you're starting to wake up. All of us are waking up. And in that context, you begin to have an awareness very much from the heart. That internal guidance system begins to talk louder. There's more. There's more. There's something else here. Now, what we do is we give our attention again to the, yeah, but, I don't have enough money and my life is, and we immediately start to tell us what we don't have, not what is possible. But there's an aspect of the third dimensional game, the place we've all grown up, let's call that a game. And there's a game board of rules and structures. And the rules and structures of the third dimension, linear time, which gives us the opportunity to put a whole lot of attention on the past and the future and worry about this and hope for that. And we spend very little time in present time. But when you start to realize I'm moving, the past and the future are really contracting. It's another conversation, but I'm finding myself in present time, more and more in present time. And in present time, I get to make different choices. And these different choices I begin to get to make are lighter. The third dimensional game is very sluggish, it's very sticky. You ever notice that you want something and it doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen? It's very slow third dimensional game. But when you start to play in present time, you begin to recognize you have choices. You begin to start to play in an alignment that is being made available. We're going to call it an octave, a whole jump out of the third dimensional space into an alignment that has more joy and ease, and it's got buoyancy, it's more comfortable. The nature of things not working, sometimes not work, it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. I wonder if I could do this. And rather than going immediately into failure, it's beginning to present new choices and new opportunities to choose differently. But one of the pieces is a lot of the I'm not okay, it doesn't work, nobody likes me. There's not a lot of room for that where we're in the process of stepping. And so there's an interesting part of that. You are forgetting your past. And in a lot of the forgetting your past, that doesn't mean Alzheimer's and dementia. It's just simply you've passed through a lot of noise, a lot of experiences, a lot of days that you've gone through. If I said, well, tell me what happened last week, to a great extent, you can't tell me what happened last week. What did you do? Well, I did things. Well, what did you do? I don't remember. Well, would you like to have the not? What you're finding is the not remembering is just simply it's not sticking as much. The non significance of the day is not sticking, and so you're going into the next present time moment in a way that is less sticky, a little bit more fluid, a little bit more buoyant, a little bit more light. And all of a sudden, what I'm watching happen to people, particularly mastering alchemy, is they're starting to move their attention off of what doesn't work into the possibility of, well, that might be interesting. And because this octave space is not as sticky and it is not built on linear time, things begin to happen. And more people are saying, well, I'm just comfortable. I feel good. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not doing a whole lot, but it really feels good. And so this moment of transition is enormous. People are beginning to forget their past. And a lot of the things that you're supposed to do, this is what mom, dad, teacher, minister said: go to college, get a job, 2.3 kids, white picket fence. Well, that's not interesting to me anymore. People are saying over and over. There's a little bit of a lull. Well, what is interesting to you? Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's a shift. You're moving into this space where there's more opportunity, but we're letting go of all the stickiness that has been the life that we've known. So that's a big topic. It relates to everybody individually, but it's one of those things where is everybody individually going to get it all at once? No. One of the aspects of the world right now, if you look around, culture wars, just a very simple thing. Differences between parents and children, grandparents and the new Gen Zs. There's no communication. The wiring is completely different. The whole experience of a 20-year-old is not even relevant to a 40-year-old, in a manner of speaking, let alone a baby boomer at 60 and 70. No relationship there. This new energy, the new wiring in the kids, and you want to see the kids under 12 years old, under 12 years old, under 10 years old, watch out. These kids have nothing. I mean, they're so different. They're wired different. They're wired for joy. They're wired for an intellectual understanding of consciousness, knowledge, wisdom beyond anything most of us have ever even imagined. So this is very rapidly changing what's going on in the world. It's very exciting and it's very disturbing, because what used to be very commonplace, this is how we just plod along, this is what we do, we're in agreement with all the rules, that's not the game today. We're in a game of disruption. And so just understand, it's disruption, it's intentional, it's chaotic right now, because what was is no longer. What will be has not exactly arrived yet. And so you're in transition that is disruptive. Now, without going into it right now, as soon as you bring artificial intelligence, the technology that is now about to present, into the mix, people are going to accuse artificial intelligence of being this very disruptive thing. It's not artificial intelligence, it's the disruption of the human consciousness that's beginning to say we're stepping into a higher, faster level of consciousness, much grander in intelligence, wisdom, and knowledge. We're starting to become one with spirit at a higher level, and things are falling apart. They're going to blame artificial intelligence. Is artificial intelligence in the moment a scary thing? Could it create nuclear war? It could, but nuclear war could happen with the 4,000 nuclear weapons that everybody's got on the planet already. So nuclear war isn't even an issue with artificial intelligence. It's not interested in war. What you're going to start to find with artificial intelligence, it's intelligent. Intelligence is not interested in killing itself off or destroying. But that's a topic for another day, but it's a point of consideration. What is unfolding is spectacular, and yet we're not there yet to see the spectacularness of the arrival.